I am told he and Chani live a nomadic life, and that all within the walls of their keep. Out the great hall he comes for the public audiences. He has reception halls and formal meeting places, a whole wing for his personal guard, places for the ceremonies, and an inner section for communications. There is a room far beneath his fortress, I am told, where he keeps a stunted worm surrounded by a water moat with which to poison it. Here is where he reads the future. Myth all tangled up with facts, Scytale thought. The apparatus of government accompanies him everywhere, Varric grumbled. Clerks and attendants for the attendants. He trusts only the ones such as Stilgar who were very close to him in the old days. Not you, Scytale said. I think he has forgotten my existence, Varric said. How does he come and go when he leaves that building? Scytale asked. He has a tiny thopter landing, which juts from an inner wall, Varric said. I am told Muad'Dib will not permit another to handle the controls for a landing there. It requires an approach, so it is said, where the slightest miscalculation would plunge him down a sheer cliff of wall into one of his accursed gardens. Scytale nodded. This, most likely, was true. Such an aerial entry to the Emperor's quarters would carry a certain measure of security. The Atreides were superb pilots all. He uses men to carry his distrance messages, Varric said. It demeans men to implant wave translators in them. A man's voice should be his own to command. It should not carry another man's message hidden within its sounds. Scytale shrugged. All great powers use distrance in this age. One could never tell what obstacle might be placed between sender and addressee. The distrance defied political cryptology because it relied on subtle distortions of natural sound patterns which could be scrambled with enormous intricacy. Even as tax officials use this method, Varric complained. In my day, the distrance was implanted only in the lower animals. But revenue information must be kept secret, Scytale thought. More than one government has fallen because people discover the real extent of official wealth. How do the Fremen cohorts feel now about Muad'Dib's jihad? Scytale asked. Do they object to making a god out of their emperor? Most of them don't even consider this, Varric said. They think of the jihad the way I thought of it. Most of them. It is a source of strange experiences, adventure, wealth. This Graben hovel in which I live, Varric gestured at the courtyard. It cost 60 liters of spice, 90 contours. There was a time when I could not even imagine such riches. He shook his head. Across the courtyard, the blind youth took up the notes of a love ballad on his balisette. 90 contours, Scytale thought. How strange. Great riches, certainly. Varric's hovel would be a palace on many. Another world. But all things were relative. Even the contour. Did Varric, for example, know whence came his measure for this weight of spice? Did he ever think to himself that 1.5 contar once limited a camel load? Not likely. Varric might never even have heard of the camel, or of the golden age of Earth. His words oddly enrhythmed the melody of his son's balisad. Ferric said, I owned a crysknife, water rings to 10 liters, my own lance, which had been my father's, a coffee service, a bottle made of red glass older than any memory in my siege. I had my own share of our spice, but no money. I was rich and did not know it. 2 wives I had, one plain and dear to me, the other stupid and obstinate, but with form and face of an angel. I was a Fremen Naib, a rider of worms, master of the Leviathan and of the sand. The youth across the courtyard picked up the beat of his melody. I knew many things without the need to think about them, Ferric said. I knew there was water far beneath our sand, held there in bondage by the Little Makers. I knew that my ancestors sacrificed virgins to Shai Hulud before late Kynes made us stop. It was wrong of us to stop. I had seen the jewels in the mouth of a worm. My soul had 4 gates, and I knew them all. He fell silent, musing. Then the Atreides came in, with his witch mother, Sightale said.